What is it that makes something alive? The mind, the body, and the soul? This is something I've been asking myself for a long time now. You see, the thing is, I suffer from clinical depression and have made no secret I'm on the autism spectrum. At times I feel overwhelmingly empty, so very completely hollow. So far gone, I feel more like a robot pretending to be human, failing to understand the most basic of emotions. For so long, I struggled to find an answer, to find a way to justify my existence to myself. Then I came across this game and came to my own answer, something I'll reveal at the end of this video. My own truth born from a wonderfully tragic and truly heartbreaking story. Hello there everyone, my name is Alice and I'm just your ordinary autistic nerd here to make a love letter about their favorite game ever. A game so impactful it pulled me out of my worst depression and showed me that I can be alive, that I can be me. Now, come on, let's go on a little journey and experience this game together.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the God who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
Well, what a way to open. When I first heard this, my immediate thought was, what? After that, I thought about it a bit, to be cursed with self-awareness of our own fragility. Honestly, I don't care. I have the self-awareness to understand the fear of death and the pain of existence, but at the time I didn't have the capacity emotionally to understand why it mattered to others, so I asked myself, if I could, given the opportunity, would I kill God for making me aware? And my answer then and now is, I don't care. I'm me, and that's okay. Anyways, after this, the game opens up with a shoot-'em-up style flight section. The game either plays like this, an old-school arcade space shooter, or a Bayonetta-like. Still, it blends the modes well and in a fun way. After losing a few members, we end up in the factory, one of my favorite character introductions happening immediately after.
Heavy damage. Standard activating short-range attack gear. Alert. Large enemy group detected.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
This is 2B. She is hot. I feel nothing when I see her because I'm actually also Demi, but damn, her outfit is cute as hell. I wish I could wear it. Anyways, this area is a human weapons factory repurposed by the enemy machines to make more of them. Here we get our first feel for combat and get to see 9S and 2B interact a bit, with 2B being the stern one and 9S being the more chill, fun one. There's only a handful of enemy types, with the game in general not having much variety. It generally uses the same dull light palette with a few exceptions, and enemies have the same rough shape across all areas, with the only difference being outfits. The area itself is pretty linear at this point, with nothing worth exploring. There are a few handful of fun fights against giant rotating saws, but they're nothing worth noting. And the last boss, Engels, is on the boring side, especially when you enter flight mode, with the only notable thing being beating him to death with his own arm at the end. Honestly, a common issue in the game is the flight scenes being uninteresting, but that's okay.
5012 AD. The year mankind's glorious history came to a sudden and abrupt end, when the world was invaded by aliens from beyond the stars. The aliens unleashed a new breed of weapon, machine life forms, that all but annihilated human civilization. The handful of survivors that remained fled from Earth, seeking refuge on the moon. 5204 AD. Humanity launched its counterattack, deploying an army of androids from a network of orbiting bases. But after more than a dozen large-scale descents upon the enemy, we still haven't managed to repel the invaders. That is why you, the Yorha forces, exist. To break this stalemate, once and for all. You are our ultimate weapon, and you must put an end to this war.
Understood, sir.
I wish you good hunting.
Glory to mankind. Glory
Glory to mankind.
Anyways, after beating Engels, we're allowed into the bunker where we set up our general settings in a very cute way. 9S guides you and you have to manually raise the volume to hear his voice, which the game actually gives you the option to compliment. After that cutscene plays, we speak to the commander and are sent to the city ruins to meet with resistance members. My first time seeing the ruins, my first thought was, wow, the music is pretty. Unfortunately, there's nothing worth really exploring in this game. Once we make it to camp, we're assigned to help two people, a weapons seller and trader and a goods seller. All we really have to do is get some materials, so it's nothing eventful, but I do find two things interesting. The weapons trader wonders to himself if him providing and upgrading weapons to his friends is getting them killed faster. When I first heard this, I wasn't sure, and I'm still not. On one hand, he's providing the means to defend themselves from danger, and on the other, he's providing the means to jump into danger, so which one is it? I ended up deciding it's both. And the general goods seller says he's replaced his body again and again, but he's left his left leg, the last piece of the original him. He refuses to change it despite it becoming a dud, because he believes if he removes that last original aspect, will he really still be him? My thoughts at the time were, yes, you will still be you. It's not the wood that makes the ship of Theseus, but the people that name and use it. To a certain extent, we are what we are to others, at least in my opinion at the time. Obviously, that's changed, but I won't say to what yet. We head to investigate the desert where we meet Jackass, who blows up a boulder then stops talking to us because she's just that cool. 9S and I disagree here. He wonders if there was a better, safer way. Meanwhile, I know there's no better or cooler way. Now, as we travel, we come across several packs of robots, becoming progressively more human in speech. When I first played this game, I really wanted to stop hurting them. And when they started screaming ow and begging for us to stop, it seriously stressed me in a way I had to put the game down. I felt so genuinely conflicted. I know they're robots, but they felt so human in their mimicry. Eventually, we reach the sex pit where we find robots mimicking human actions again and come across another boss. The concept is interesting and the fight's fun, but after killing one, another pops out, so we run, letting them live and reporting to command. After this fight, we get our first worthwhile mail actually worth going over. Now, the writing is great in this game, but a lot of it is hidden by the mail system. You have to go to any save point and manually choose to read mail, which most people aren't going to bother to do, but it's how a majority of the side cast is developed. Anyways, we got a letter from X60 reading as, "Have you ever heard of Jupiter fortune telling? It's all the girls over at R&D have been talking about lately. They say you can examine the color and shape of Jupiter's great red spot to learn about what kind of luck you'll have with health, work, and love. Sounds amazing, right? I'll try and let you know what I find out." Now, this is where the game branches between Route A and Route B. They're both incredibly similar, but Route B does include some more lore. I'll be using footage from Route A, but I will be acting as if it's Route B. That said, here we go. Now, after resting at the resistance camp, we're assigned to investigate a series of black box distress signals, leading us to the amusement park. It's so much fun with the machines vibing to my second favorite song in the game. They're all non-hostile too, with the exception of a tank enemy which drops a machine core when defeated. It's noted that machine cores apparently look like plant cells. After defeating it, we hop on a roller coaster and a bit of banter between 9S and 2B occurs.
It is a device that propels humans on rails at high speeds for the purposes of amusement. It was commonly referred to as a roller coaster.
Humans sure are strange creatures. Hey, 2B?
Yes?
People who know me well usually call me Nines, so... So what do you think? I mean, if you want to call me Nines, it's totally okay.
I'm good.
Oh, alright.
Damn, she really rejected him like that. That's okay, Nines. I'll call you Nines because Nines is such a good name for the best boy. Anyways, we see in Route B that this robot fell in love with another. In an attempt to win their heart, they started pursuing the human aspect of beauty, hunting down androids and using their parts to enhance and alter her own body. Fun fact, you can actually come across the robot they fell in love with in a quest line. It is an asshole. Anyways, her boss fight is incredibly fun, with her moves moving in time with the music, which, as usual for this game, is top tier. Now, real quick, I want to go over what I felt at the time. My first thought was, robots can feel love? And even then, how can they understand beauty? See, as someone on the spectrum, I don't understand physical attraction. To me, everyone is the same. Not only that, but I don't understand the desire to want to look more beautiful for someone else. Shouldn't just the fact that you're you be enough? I genuinely don't understand even now. So I was really conflicted that a fictional robot had a better understanding of what I see as a foundational aspect of humanity than me. The inherent understanding and appreciation for outward appearance that just seems to come naturally to others. In my eyes, beauty is internal. It's our personality, how we act and how we express ourselves, and in my eyes, this robot is truly hideous. It went as far as to harm and maim others for another, and it's truly selfish. Still, I'm envious because this robot, yet again, is more human than me. So, what am I? Those were my thoughts at the time. After beating the boss and failing to rescue the captured androids, them dying as soon as it died as they were being kept alive by it, we go outside and are met with a very cute, friendly robot with a white flag. Oh my god, I love it so much. You can actually kill it, like a monster. And if you do, it'll just keep respawning infinitely, thank god. It'll ask if you're willing to follow it to its village of other friendly robots. If you say yes, you get to meet another one of my favorite characters, Pascal. Now, despite being a robot, Pascal has a soft feminine voice, her entire aura radiating a gentle motherly warmth. She wants nothing more than the best for the people around her, even the androids out killing robots. After talking with her, we agree to deliver something to the Resistance camp for her. Finding out Pascal's camp and the Resistance members have been working together for an extended period of time, and once we drop off what Pascal asked, Anemone asks us to make another delivery to Pascal. The delivery, we get to hear another message from 6-0 that plays as...
Operator 60 to me. Time for your regularly scheduled contact.
2B here. What's wrong?
There's this operator I kind of liked, but when I asked her out, she turned me down. Honestly, Juby, I don't know how I'm supposed to go on living.
I am definitely not the person to discuss this with.
I don't think I can stand spending one more day in this bunker.
You leaving would be bad for me. It would affect mission efficiency.
Are you saying you need me, Juby?
All Model B combat units require the assistance of an operator. So,
Juby?
that's all. Closing this channel.
Now, after making the deliveries, the ruins get attacked by Goliath-class machines. As usual, the flight section is pretty boring, but there is a fun thing where you can run directly under the Goliath on the way to the flight unit to see it in action. It really lets you get a feel for how truly massive these things are. Now, while that footage plays, I'm going to go on another small rant. One difference between Route B and Route A is the way 6-0 treats 9S and 2B respectively. 6-0 really wants one thing, and that's a family. So, she fulfills that desire through the pair, treating 9S as a little brother and 2B as her sister. Honestly, she comes off as a bit bitchy to 9S at times, but even then, she's cute in her own way, with those cute moments really shining in her male-in interactions with 2B. I get her desire for family, or at least something like it. My family is nice, they're incredibly sweet and patient with me, but at times that can be an issue. Because of my autism, the way people treat me is different, and unfortunately that treatment extends to family at times. It's a bit sad, but it is what it is, you know? Anyways, 6-0 is one of my favorite characters, and I hard stand her. Now, after defeating the Goliath, we get an alien signal coming from, and oh my god, I can't believe they never thought to check before. Wink wink. Underground! As soon as we investigate, we come across the human-like machines from the desert earlier.
Are they dead?
Look!
Destroyed alien motherships.
Welcome to the graveyard of our creators.
Here, they let us know the aliens the androids were supposed to be fighting were already dead, killed by their own creations, the robot army sent to kill off humanity. What happened is when the robots started to gain sentience, they started to become dissatisfied with their masters, choosing to rebel and, as you can see, kill them. In their sudden gain of sentience, the machines developed a fascination with humanity, their actions, and their past, going so far as to recreate humanity's old structures. Here, the pair discuss that fascination, how humanity is so quick to kill each other with little to no reason, and how we repeat the same cycles. Here, I started to wonder, and I want to be clear here, this is just my thoughts at the time, long ago. Why are the machines so fascinated with humans? We fucking suck. If I had to define humanity in one word, it would be cycles. We go to war again and again, those who are abused often become abusers, and when the chains of oppression are broken, they're simply taken over by another. We learn nothing, simply forgetting for a few years before committing the same horrible acts again, no matter how big or small. Sure, there may be good among us, there is hope and love and kindness, but those aren't born naturally. Again, it's cycles. A desire to break free from the experiences of despair and the cycle of pain is what birthed the brightest flame, seeking not to break, but to alleviate. To simply help. Yet, this help is so small compared to the vast cycle of darkness. Humanity is worthless. The gentle glimmer shining so weak compared to the grim void that make us that they will never be worth attention. I know. Grim, right? Obviously that's changed over the years, but I won't say to what yet. Still, I wonder, what about us is so fascinating? Anyways, after that we meet Pascal and ask about other odd machines, finding out about the Forest Kingdom. They, just like Pascal's village, the twins, and the songster's boss are cut off from the alien network, acting completely independently. Real fast, this game is a direct sequel to Nier. It becomes blatantly obvious when we come across Emil on the way to the Forest Kingdom. There's also how Sick Cell brings up a lunar tear and how great it would look on 2B's hair. The thing about Emil is, he's the biggest fighter against the alien invasion as the ultimate weapon, single-handedly defending the Earth for an uncountable amount of time, doing everything he can to defend his precious friend's home. Noticing his power, the aliens eventually started to base their machines off Emil, which is why their heads are shaped the way they are and why their bullets resemble magic. I will probably make a video on Nier Replicant, but I'm not sure. Anyways, there's not much to explore in the forest area, but it is interesting. As you make your way to the castle, you can see the robots training, occasionally shouting to praise and defend their king. It almost feels like a real kingdom. As for the castle, it's a bit linear, with it being 100% possible to skip every robot enemy, just running past them without a care. The second we make it to the king, we come across A2, a Yorha unit gone AWOL. While we fight her, I'll go ahead and say the lore behind the king. Now, their king is an infant robot. Before the kingdom was established, a group of robots came together wanting to make a family. A large, happy, and peaceful family. At some point, the idea of making their own kingdom came up. They ended up agreeing to do so, making an infant robot their king. Unfortunately, they forgot one thing. They aren't human, despite how much they may act like it. Years passed and their king was still an infant. The same little robot now and forever. The robots respect and desire humanity, but they don't truly understand it, simply mimicking it. They want nothing more than to become human, but they'll never be able to do so despite going so far as to cut themselves off from the main network. I did forget to say, but in the castle, believe it or not, 2B actually calls nines nines, although she does deny it a little bit. In fact, here's the clip right here.
Wait, what did you just say? Wait, no, that's not what you said. You said nine.
Now, anyways, again, after this we go to Pascal's village to ask about A2, finding out all they know is that she's dangerous. I wonder how they found that out. After that, we head to the resistance camp where we meet Anemone, who asks 2B to help guard a missile shipment. As usual, the area is beautiful, and apparently being part of the city that was sunk in the last war, there's nothing interesting in the area, and again, there's another flight section as the robots group together to ambush and attack the missile shipment. 2 boss fights happening in this, both being equally uninteresting, though one does mean a bit to me. One of them is just against a big robot ship, but another is against a robot I like to call the Eel Man. You know, he just reminds me of an eel, and I kinda want to eat him. Is that unhinged? Yes. Do I care? No. Give me that scrap to break my teeth on. Now then, while I play Fishman's section, it's lore time. Mr. Eelfish is a child who can't control himself, unintentionally harming both allies and enemies alike with his overwhelming power. After one particularly bad incident, he was sealed in the ocean, locked away in his cage. All he could think about was how cold, dark, and lonely it was. How he didn't mean to hurt anyone. Did he really deserve to be thrown deep in the dark for something he couldn't control? See, this boss means a lot to me because what it's feeling is something I can closely relate to. It can't help how it was born or how it acts at times, unfortunately harming others when it never meant to. There's a difference between me and the robot that left me feeling less human yet again. The robot understood that it was hurting others and how, choosing to lock itself away. The thing is, when I was younger, I was undiagnosed with autism, so I always behaved differently from other kids, but it was never explained. I was expected to be normal. Things I needed to do or things I couldn't just were a part of my life. Sometimes I would react, and this is very unfortunate, but I would react violently. I never meant to. I didn't understand why, but the fact is, I hurt people. I couldn't control the words or sounds that came out of my mouth. I couldn't control my actions to what should be minor inconveniences, and I couldn't control how I responded to my emotions. A lot of the time, I felt like an uncontrollable monster, and just like Mr. Eel, I was locked away for something I couldn't help. Thrown in my own ocean without ever knowing why. No one willing to listen to me. Why would no one just try to understand me instead of seeing a ball of chaos and destruction? I understand Mr. Eel's loneliness over the uncontrollability of his own body, yet I can't understand why he feels lonely. Only that he is. Did we deserve this? Did we deserve to be locked up? Did Mr. Eel deserve to be killed off by 9S and 2B? The fact is, he was harming others. We were harming others. My answer was, the fuck am I doing comparing myself to a fictional robot? Why do I seem to see so much of myself in something that isn't real? I may have harmed others, but I'm not a laser-firing mega beast. Yeah, I've harmed others. I definitely have, but it's never been anything as bad as this guy. I'm not a machine built for destruction like this thing, so I don't deserve to be in my own ocean, and I don't deserve to suffer because I'm on the spectrum. This thing can't change. It's a machine. I can grow and become better and work on my difficulties, and when I can, I'll make people who treasure me. I promised myself I wouldn't cry here, but I am a little bit. I'm gonna keep it in, though. I promised I'd make friends with people who treasure me for my quirks, and since then, I have. You know, I'm sorry you died lonely and scared, Mr. Eelman. I really love you, and I wish we could be friends. Let's go ahead and change the topic before I do more than lightly cry and start straight sobbing. After defeating Mr. Eelman, 9S is knocked away, his black box signal hidden. Returning to the Resistance camp, Anemone tells us to talk to a pair of android twins. At this point, it's more than undeniable that despite having overwhelming differences, this is a direct sequel to Nier. I mean, here we have Popula and Devila. I won't spoil much because I do want to make a video on Nier Replicant, but for certain reasons, Popula and Devila models are widely hated. Only allowed to be in production so they can pay for their sins. All they have is each other, a pair of sisters wandering a cruel world forced to live the consequences of another. After talking to them, they give us a scanner, letting us run to 9S. Not directly, though. We talk to another dying android, which gives us his rough coordinates, but I'm gonna be honest, this video is getting long and a bit draining, so I'm gonna cut that bit of footage out and skip to the next part. Here, after moving next to where we previously find the aliens, we come across the copied city and Adam, one of the twins from the desert.
Welcome to my beloved city.
Again, he goes on a rant about the robot's fascination with humanity, humanity's hate, love, bloodlust, history, and culture, how much robots admire and respect them, but will never truly understand them. Partway through the fight, we see his captured 9S, though that's not the most shocking thing. You see, to become more human, he cuts himself off from the machine network and decides to make his fight with 2B a deathmatch. You see, when a machine dies, normally, their consciousness is simply re-uploaded to the main network and sent into a new body. making them functionally immortal so long as that data remains intact. It should be noted that androids function the same way. Now though, Adam can die. That's it. No re-upload, just darkness. And at this point, me and the game finally agreed on something. What is it that makes something human? Or in my case, what is it that makes something alive? It's not a long or deep answer. It's death. Through death, we are assigned a limit. The choices we are making becoming all the more valuable in the irreversible flow of life. It's death that makes our memory cherished. It's death that makes our actions in life valuable. It's death that makes our decisions heavy. We have one shot and a one shot only. So because of that, everything we feel and do is inherently precious. Of course, that's not all that makes something alive. It's a slew of things, but I won't go over them yet, though. Now then, let's move on yet again. After this, we return to the Resistance camp and are sent a mail by the commander asking us to investigate other odd machines. Discussing with Pascal, she brings up another machine group that separated themselves from the machine network. I'll be blunt. This group is a cult. No ifs, ands, or buts. And it's a batshit crazy cult. Again, the robots go mad in the pursuit of humanity. According to this cult, to die is to become as God, completely failing to understand humanity yet again. Fanaticism is a part of human history, and I've already gone over our relationship with death. But that's not all we are, and to believe simply dying would be enough to become a human, or as the robots say, become as gods, is truly foolish. Though not all the robots want to become as gods. As you try to escape, you can clearly see and hear some of them cowering, begging not to die as they scream out asking why this is happening. Now, you see the darkness on screen right now? That's the area boss. This is Jun. I hate this boss. In the start, you can't damage it at all until 9S shuts down the factory power supply, which turns off the lights. You think this is boring to watch? Imagine how insufferable it is to fight a boss you can barely frickin' see, who blocks half your bullets, a decent chunk of your damage, then just outright becomes immune to bullet damage near the end. It's not interesting, has no fun mechanics, it has no lore other than its brother is called G, and I hate it. Its brother isn't any better. Sure, it's in an area where you can see stuff, but it has this annoying thing where it's in water, then it electrifies that water, and all you can do is shoot it, so that's half your damage gone. Plus, at half health, it calls in backup, which honestly isn't too bad, but still annoying. Now, let's move on from the negativity here and get to the positive. We're nearing the end of the Route A and B after defeating Jun and getting a distress signal from the Resistance camp. Let's move on from the negativity here and get to the positive. We're nearing the end of Route A and B after defeating Jun. We get a distress signal from the Resistance camp at this point. The robots having gone completely insane, eating each other and whatever androids they can alive. They've completely flooded the map, becoming way more aggressive, going as far as to attack the Resistance camp and even Pascal's village. After defeating a few of the maddened robots, we track the source of the destruction and find Eve. Here, the final boss fight for this route begins.
And here you are. I know you two feel the same. That this world is utterly meaningless. As far as I'm concerned, my brother was everything. And now, everything must die!
You know, at this point, it finally hit me. Maybe I'm not human. At least what I believe to be human. These robots, these things, they can warn people normally, they can feel emotions normally, they can understand and attempt anything normally. I remember when I lost my grandfather, my everything, my greatest happiness and security in life. I was cold-faced and emotionless, my depression completely taking over. Eve here can feel despair, and he's completely overwhelmed by it. The songstress can feel love normally and even see beauty, even if it's in her own warped way. The eel robot can feel and understand why it's lonely. What do I feel? I don't know. I didn't know at the time. And if I didn't know at the time, I knew I was feeling nothing. Yet, for some reason, this game made me feel. I could feel envious, I could feel happy, I could feel upset, and throughout all of it, I felt curious. curious as to why these robots were so fascinating to me. I felt normal. I won't lie and say the end of Route A and B made me feel anything. I thought it was nice, and it was a great ending to the story, but more than anything, all I could think was, that's it? Isn't this too hopeful and convenient? I came into this blind, only knowing the ending was supposed to be more than this, so after seeing the end credits, I loaded up the game and accidentally discovered Route B. At this point, after Route A and B, I was starting to question myself, but I had yet to truly understand anything. At least until I made it to the ending that had me in absolute tears. Ending E. I'm not gonna show off the ending of Route A or B here. That's gonna be my way of keeping the spoilers to a minimum. Now, unfortunately, the video ends here. It'll be a two-parter. If you made it to the end here, thank you for watching, and special thanks to the people who left comments in my last video. It was a bit of a struggle to find the time and energy to make this, but the positivity gave me the kick I needed to get over my winter depression. Before I actually end it, I want to leave a small note. I am happy and proud to be on the autism spectrum now. Long past my own issues and self-hatred of my differences and oddities. Despite how it can make my emotions difficult in my mind to mess at times, it makes me a unique little goober that no one can replace, and to anyone else in the spectrum, be proud. At least, I'm proud of you. See you in part 2, where we finally get the complete answer. What does it mean to be human, at least to me? And how did this game, of all things, make me finally understand that I deserve to be around? Despite my weirdness, that I'm just as human and alive as anyone else.